Welcome back. I did empty my memory card and uploading. My YouTube channel have 11 years birthday tomorrow. And the next few days will be very hot. So I think we're not going to make so much video tomorrow. I forgot to open the door. I start to get a little tired. I not really got started the last video because I was talking about all kinds of different stuff. So it's soon at 6 p.m. So let's just continue. So the automotive industry is super large. That's the second largest on the whole planet Earth. I think the only larger is food production, all kind of food, agriculture and fishing, and food processing, all kind of food factories to making food for supermarket, and agriculture and fishing. I only think the food industry is larger than automobile. And this big car brand, there's more than 100 big car brands. They have big automobile factories manufacturing all over the world, close to the home market, like North America, United States, Europe. So let's continue. But I think we have to stop today, because tomorrow will be a long hot day. I got to Kenya, looking this, did read this automotive industry by country, just looking every country a bit, but not every country, only few countries have a list. Oh, I think this one have like 15 countries. By country, 15 countries have possibilities to design, like Australia, China, France can design own automobiles, Germany, India, Iran, Italy, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia. So that's, and they have some main page. I only read the biggest. I'm not going to read everything one by one. So we got to Kenya in Africa, south of Sahara, but I've not read it yet. I did not have time to read it, and I'll read it later. On this video I'm going to read it. So that's Kenya. I don't know how many, maybe sometimes they write it. I cannot see any numbers, but you can find it. You can find this if you can find Kenya. Kenya don't have any numbers on this list. So they have automobile plants in Kenya. They made that car in the 1980s. The Kenya government tried to start this production of these cars, Nyayo, but they could not find investors. But they have many of the countries, they have a big corruption. They have a big corruption, and many from the government. They're stealing the money from the state. They're stealing the money from the state's money. So probably not many would like to borrow the Kenya state many hundreds of millions, because they know the money is going to disappearing all kind of way. So they try to make this Nayao car, and they have this Mobius Motors. So Volkswagen have some production. Says 52% of new cars sold in Kenya are assembled. So they have some automobile plant somewhere. Major assemblers, but maybe they do this, they call it knockdown kits. They're importing auto parts, this knockdown kits, and then only assemble the cars. That's retailers that only selling, they're importing and selling. Kenya vehicles manufacturers, they do the Hyundai, Volkswagen. They have General Motors East Africa. Future Tata Motors India, probably many from China. This BID, many Chinese brand would like to have a large automobile production in Africa and South America, of course. That's Morocco have a large, I think like 1 million car. They're making a lot of automobile in Morocco. I don't know how many, but really many, like 1 million I think. Maybe not million, but they're making many cars in Morocco. Says 560,000. They are number 24 on this list. So they're making a lot of cars, really many cars. They're about the number 24 in the world. They have this Renault, Nissan, and the PSA group, Peugeot, Citroën, Opel, and this Chinese BRD. So they make about 600,000 cars. They have 26 auto industry projects. $1.5 billion. They like to produce 1 million in the future, but they do like 600,000 now. So they have all kind of production plants. So Maca, Casablanca have this PSA, Peugeot, Citroën. Another plant, Fiat. They make Fiat Uno, Fiat Palio. I don't know this one. I've never heard about Fiat Palio. I know Fiat Punto, Fiat Panda. I never heard about this Palio. Fiat Palio, but that's maybe not for Europe. They're not make it in for Europe. This BRD, Build Your Own Dream, Chinese. They make some very nice. Can you see them in my country, Denmark? When I go shopping, they have all kind of new cars. But that's some of the old. And every year they're making some new. But they are old. That's from 2010. That's 2024. That looks much like a Tesla Model S. A luxury sedan, full-size luxury sedans. So they're making all kind of very nice looking cars. So they're making nice cars. We look at that, going to read this later. And then Renault production Morocco. I'm going to read all this. Future investment. They're going to raise the car production like 0.6 million today to like more than 1 million. So they're going to expanding. They said about 600,000. That's what they do now. So Morocco have a very large automobile production. Then Nigeria in Africa. They're selling like 700,000 cars in Nigeria. They have cars everywhere. They do 140,000 they built in Nigeria. And then they have history there. So they're using a lot of old cars. They're just driving till they fall apart. And they put it together with gaffer tape and tape. No, metal. No, thin metal wire and gaffer tape. They keep the car together. So they have a car production in Nigeria, but there's a lot of people in Nigeria. That's like 100 million. How many live in Lagos? Is like 10 million people in Nigeria. But we don't have time to look at this because this will take many hours. South Africa. They have in Botswana, north of South Africa, got some car production in Botswana. South Africa, they produce more than 500,000 automobiles, buses and military vehicles. So they have all kind of auto plants. That's a Chinese brand, Beijing Automotive Group. That's a state-owned Chinese automobile manufacturer. BMW, Ford, Japanese Isuzu, Mahindra is India. That's Germany. Mercedes, Nissan, Stellantis own 14 car brand like Citroën, I don't know if they own Peugeot. I think they own Peugeot. No, they're doing that. Peugeot, they're doing that. This PSA group. They own Citroën, Peugeot, Opel, Fiat, Chrysler, Alfa Romeo, they own Jeep, Lancia, Maserati. They own many big car brands. Toyota have a plant. Volkswagen have a factory. Volvo trucks. Then you have we're going to read it later. And they have some government programs. Electric vehicles. So they have a big production. Tunisia have an automobile production. How many have this small Wallis car? They're making 600 cars every year. This nice looking car. They have a factory, small factory. They build 600 every year, like 50 cars every month. That's like 2 cars every day. 2 cars every day, Monday to Friday. I have it open somewhere. Now we are in Asia. Asia is everything. That's Central Asia. That's Far East, like Japan is India. And I think the Turkey is Asia. So that's all the way from Turkey close to Europe, to Japan in the Far East. And India, Pakistan, Azerbaijan have automobile production. But I cannot see the numbers, but I have this list, but I don't have time to start to feel tired. I cannot look this every time. I can find every country here, but not everyone is. Azerbaijan have 7,000 cars. Azerbaijani, that's Bangladesh. They're making this auto rickshaws, and of course they're making a lot of motorcycles. I think motorcycle is part of the automotive industry. We maybe have to read, but I'm not reading mostly about cars and auto rickshaw. I'm not reading. We can do later. Scooter and motorcycle are not open now. So they have automobile production, three-wheelers, so but I don't know, but they're making many. I don't know how many, because I cannot find the numbers. So the automobile companies, I know Hyundai are doing some automobile production. Hyundai have a car factory. Hyundai Creta. Hyundai set up a car manufacturing through Industrial Plus in Bangalore. So they have a small production of Hyundai cars in Bangladesh. I'm going to read it later. China, of course. China is the biggest automobile manufacturer on the planet Earth. I think they will stay like this, and then I think China will be in the future. They're making 31 million, and this number will just get up. I think India will be number 2 soon, in like 10 years, 10 or 15 years. They will double car production. Then Japan, I think Japan will be number 3. The car production in Japan will get up, I think. Then United States, number 4. They will do that. Then South Korea, number 5, and then all this, Mexico, Germany, all this. Of course, we've got 1,400 million people in India, so you can sell many hundreds of million cars in India. But there's still many poor people in India. But every year, many million are getting a bit more money in India. So they get a job, so they can borrow some money. They can make some car loans. They can make some big expensive car loans and pay many $100 months, many years. So that's China is the biggest, like 32 million. That's like one third of the world car production. A little bit like 30% of the whole world's car production. And this number will just go up. And I have an ocean of car brains and auto planes. So of course we're going to read this. Going to read all this about China later. That's a long one, this one. So they're making many electric cars, and Tesla have a big factory in Shanghai. That's the first facility fully owned by a foreign car maker. So China, like Tesla, so they have all this price war. Chinese, United States price war. So we're going to read about this later, but I don't like to open too much. They have this brand Greeley. So they have all kind of very nice cars. And names, all kind of weird names you never heard before. Like this Xomi, that's a power bank. They're making cell phones. They're making power banks too. And cell phones. They have a battery swap station. You can swap battery like 5 or 10 minutes. You can, the autopilot are going backwards, reverse, and then it's swap battery below like 5 minutes. So they have a lot of cars, electric buses. So they have a lot of advanced technology in China. They have a lot of interstate and highways. They have a lot of roads. So they're exporting the cars all over the world. You can see how the number got up. 15 years, the number got up 10 times, from 500,000 to 6 million. Export really go like only 5 years ago, from 1 million 5 years ago to 6 million exporting. So they're exporting a lot of cars to like Africa, South America and Middle East. Yes, we have this China, United States trade war. We need to read about this too. So this is a very long read. List of automobile manufacturers in China. We're not going to open all this. We can open a look, but there's a lot of many, probably 100. So we have a long list of brands. So we're not going to look at this later. Going to read it, but this one we need to read this later. So that's China. That's the biggest automotive industry on the whole planet. So we need to read, that's China. And India, I'm going to move this. We have to look this trade war, of course, will, I think the number of cars will drop. The number of import of cars, automobile will drop to United States like next year. But that's a long read. We're not going to look at all this, because this Donald Trump, he's changing his mind always. He's changing this tax. He's changing this tax tariff on the whole world. Imposing tax tariff. So that's not good for the global tariff in the first Trump administration. But that's this one. Tariff in the second Trump administration. We have to look this. But he's changing his mind. Every week he's changing his mind on numbers. But we have to look this, because the car automotive industry is very sensitive to the economic in the world economic. All this tariffs and taxes. The car sale will drop. That's India. India is number 4 in the world, I think. India's number 4, close behind Japan. But I think in few years India will make a lot more cars than Japan and United States. They can easily make like more than 20 million cars. Or 30 million car. China maybe going to make 40 or 50 million car. China going to make more than 40 million cars, and India more than 20 million. And I think the car will drop in United States. Car production will drop by 1 or 2 million. And then Japan will be number 3. India number 2. So this is why I call this video Automotive Industry, and not just call my video Cars, because I like to read stuff like this. Automotive Industry in India and China, United States trade war. Tariff in the second Trump administration. Going to read about this. So India is number 4, and they make more than 6 million, I think. They have only 40 automobile each 1,000. Only 8% of Indian household own an automobile. So they can sell twice many, lot more. If like 20% of Indian household have a car, they can sell many hundreds of million cars in India. If they got, but problem is they don't have the money to pay it. So they have a long history, and India was in a colony below United Kingdom before 1949, I think. India got independent in 1949 late, so that's kind of young nation, like some countries in North Africa, like Algeria was a colony by France. So